yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb, yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. Hebrews 6. Hebrews 6, 7. When the ground sucks up the rain that falls on it and brings forth herbs for the gardener, it has the blessing of God. Now that one is from the Rock version. It does mention herbs here. Herbs. Okay. Now here's a story about King Ahab, who wanted a herb garden close to his house. In the King James version, it calls it an herb garden, and the Good News version calls it a vegetable garden. And I'm going to use the Good News story, but I'm going to use herb, because this is about herbs. Near King Ahab's palace in Jezreel, there was a vineyard owned by a man named Naboth. One day Ahab said to Naboth, "Let me have your vineyard. It's close to my palace, and I want to use the land for a herb garden. I will give you a better vineyard for it, or if you prefer, and I will pay you a fair price." "I inherited this vineyard from my ancestors," Naboth replied. "The Lord forbid that I should let you have it." Ahab went home, depressed and angry over what Naboth had said to him. He lay down on his bed, facing the wall, and wouldn't eat. His wife Jezebel went to him and asked, "Why are you so depressed? Why won't you eat?" He answered, "Because of what Naboth said to me. I offered to buy his vineyard, or if he preferred, to give him another one for it, but he told me that I couldn't have it." "Well, are you the king or aren't you?" Jezebel replied. "Get out of bed, cheer up and eat. I will get you Naboth's vineyard." Then she wrote some letters, signed Ahab's name to them, sealed them with his seal, and sent them to the officials and leading citizens of Jezreel. The letters said, "Proclaim a day of fasting, call the people together, and give Naboth the place of honor. Get a couple of scoundrels to accuse him to his face of cursing God and the king. Then take him out of the city and stone him to death." The officials and leading citizens of Jezreel did what Jezebel had commanded. They proclaimed a day of fasting, called the people together, and gave Naboth the place of honor. The two scoundrels publicly accused him of cursing God and the king, and so he was taken outside the city and stoned to death. The message was sent to Jezebel, "Naboth has been put to death." As soon as Jezebel received the message, she said to Ahab, "Naboth is dead. Now go and take possession of the vineyard which he refused to sell to you." At once Ahab went to the vineyard to take possession of it. Then the Lord said to Elijah, the prophet from Tishbe, "Go to King Ahab of Samaria. You will find him in Naboth's vineyard, about to take possession of it. Tell him that I, the Lord, say to him, 'After murdering the man, are you taking over his property as well?' Tell him that this is what I say. In the very place that the dogs licked up Naboth's blood, they will lick up your blood." Okay, now the next one is on gourds. You have to be careful what wild things you eat. Just might not be good for you. And if you're not sure, look it up or pass it up. Does anybody else want to read some of the Bible verses?
I can read some for you.
Okay.